Hi, César. Hi, everyone.
Oh,
Short question. Like usually, my pattern like this, that in the morning I have a very good motivation and I do practices and yoga and the meditation. But by the evening, when the sun is going down, like a devil coming from me, like I find it very difficult to practice, to do our practice. And I start like, I don't know, I feel like in the evening, I feel like unsatisfaction or something. And I start eating too much in the evening. And I start doing that social media. And I can't resist this. I can't come back to the practice. I can't come back to that observation. Basically, I can't do that our work. And I don't know what to do. Maybe to do it just like a rule. After 9 o'clock, stop that and to stop all this, which is, example, switch off the computer and not to look. Do I have to, because I can't do it by understanding, or I can't do it with my free will. So I need to, I'm thinking, do you think it's better to make some rules, just switch it off and that's it? And not to eat, sort of like force myself.
at the beginning, or even in the middle stages of the inquiry, one should try to avoid distractions, right? One should try to not to pay attention to objects. See? Especially if the
Why
mind,
should,
especially if the mind is still is weak.
yeah,
Weak means that the tendency to get externalized and pay
yes,
attention to something still
yeah.
is quite strong.
Yeah, quite strong in the evening, in the night.
I can guarantee you that during the day it is also like that.
So I'm delusional. I'm thinking that in the daytime it's good, like it's more strong. So that's,
In the daytime, you are distracted with things that you find them interesting, pleasant, and define them as good.
okay. So you are telling it's the same thing, only different color, but sort of the same material.
If you're going to do the inquiry has to go along the whole awakening state, during the whole awakening state, all the way through. You might begin, see, with a little bit in the morning and a little bit at night. But the inquiry is something that takes place all the way through the awakened state.
And I feel that I'm doing that, but you are telling I'm not doing it.
No, because you say, I wake up in the mornings and I do my meditation and I do my practice. I don't know what is it that you are doing, what you call meditation, what you call practice.
Observation, just the observation. The attention goes not to the object outside, but more what is inside, from where it comes.
What do you mean inside? If you're observing at something, that's not the inquiry. Whether you consider that something to be outside or inside. The inquiry is to observe the observer. So the observer does not look at anything outside or inside. So it's only focused on itself. That is the inquiry.
Yeah, I sort of doing that, but in the morning it's like more satisfying or something. There is a, I know it's like neutral. It's doesn't have any quality,
Yeah,
but
because at least your mind is not running towards thoughts so quickly, towards objects. Right?
yes, it's very peaceful and satisfying, and I can sit longer without any much distractions, and I can do my duty without distraction. In the night, it's like picture is very different. I
Because
all the
in the
sky
night,
has become,
because you have been accumulated so many imprints during the waking state, because your attention was externalized. And then you begin to put things in the basket during the day, right? You were doing
okay.
shopping. And then at night, the mind will show you all what you bought, right?
The real, yeah,
Yes.
not what I'm thinking I accumulated, but the real results, real stuff.
No, I don't know. The way you put it is quite complicated. I don't understand it. I'm trying to put it in a simple way. There are impressions that are left in your mind due to what you perceive through the senses, because you believe it is real. And then there are imprints, right? And these imprints, like a photographies, like a picture. And then at night, all these pictures come to mind, right? So the mind cannot stop thinking about them. So the mind needs an object, see, a memory, something, right? To think about, so it can remain alive. If the inquiry goes on the waking state, nighttime, you may not even remember what happened during the day. No, you're interested in remember it. What for? It's past, it's gone. But in your case, your mind will remind you all that stuff, all what happened during the day at night.
Yeah, it's very logical. So can I express my understanding?
Let's see.
So you are telling that I'm not practicing during the day. There is only, I have an illusion of practicing during the day. And
If your practice is observing at something, whether it's outside or inside, I don't remember prescribing or suggesting any of that. I suggest self-observation, self-awareness, to pay attention to oneself. That can be done during the awakened state while you are performing your activities, your duties. There is no contradiction between duties and inquiry. So if you pay attention to it, whether it is outside or inside, you are paying attention to something. I'm suggesting to pay attention to I, see, to the I that pays attention.
you said, I don't know. I is like we can't pay attention to the I, we can be I. And
To
we
your,
can be
your own sense of self. See, you know that you are. I'm not talking about paying attention to the body.
pay attention on the living, being.
Your own sense of self. See, your own knowledge of being. To what you
So
know. To what you know already as I. To yourself. If this is not understood clearly, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. Your own knowledge of being. You know that you are. Everybody knows I am. Everybody knows I. Then the attention must be on this I am. If this is not understood again, it can't work. If the formula hasn't been understood, it cannot be applied. If the formula cannot be applied, it cannot give proper result.
Do you think I make mistake because I'm looking at I, but that I coloring with some emotions, like a little bit, because it's very peaceful in the morning and mind is not distracted, and I started identifying with this, and that is the mistake I do.
No, it's because you are begin to pay attention, to give more importance to something than your own self. To pay more attention to something than to your own self. More interested in thoughts, feelings, emotions, sensations, perceptions, than in the perceiver itself.
So that's my mistake.
Yes, that's everybody's mistake.
I start identifying. I think that's my mind is not distracted and it's peaceful. It's easy to observe. It's easy to live. And in the evening, it becomes more destructive. And all the tendency become like...
No, see, I explained you something, and when you pass a comment, it shows no understanding whatsoever of what I said. And you go on repeating the same thing, right? It's like your mind is very tricky. It's always trying to avoid the explanation and give its own explanation about its own understanding, which is a misunderstanding. Do it now
Okay.
for you to understand. You can do it now. You can do it later. Leave the microphone open and the camera on. Right here, right now, you know that you are, and you know,
Yes.
and you know that you exist.
Yeah.
Okay. Put the attention on what you know as I. Now.
Yeah,
Yeah, what?
I put attention to what is I.
Yes.
It's always coloring something. The coloring it's something. It's not neutral. It's not.
Don't get distracted by the coloring. See, bring the attention back to yourself. That's the whole point. Forget about the thoughts, forget about the feeling, forget about the coloring, forget about all, and fix the attention on yourself. That is actual meditation. The mind will try to distract you, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look that it stays permanently. It's just the mind is in continuous flow. It's continuous.
It doesn't matter. The mind, you are talking about something, right?
I can't even express it. What is it? It's not the
I'm
thoughts.
trying to explain something, madam. Please pay attention carefully. Okay?
Yeah.
You say, the mind is doing this, the mind is doing that, right? So the mind,
Probably.
the mind you see, yes or no?
Yeah.
The mind is what you see. Then forget about the mind. Put attention on the seer. Ignore the mind. Let the mind do whatever it wants. Just keep the attention on the seer, which is you, right? Let the mind do whatever it wants. If it stops or not, it doesn't matter. Let the world, whatever happens to happen, it doesn't matter. We are not in, we are interested in knowing oneself. And to know oneself, we have to pay attention to oneself and not allow oneself to be distracted by thoughts, feelings, emotions, sensations, or perceptions.
I mean, as soon as I notice any movement, I have to come back.
To the one, to the one that notices the movement, which is I.
Say it again, please.
To the one that notices the movement, which is I. That is I. That's the only thing that you need to do, and that's the only thing that you need to understand. You can forget about everything else. It's as simple as that. I am consciousness. I want to know myself as I truly am. Then I have to keep the attention on myself. I have to meditate on myself, see, on the meditator itself.
That I, it doesn't move.
Yes, to the I that
No.
doesn't move. Yes.
That takes effort.
Then what to do? Eventually, it is effortless and permanent. Eventually, one become aware of oneself permanently, effortlessly. In fact, no effort is required. Effort is going outside. See? Effort is mental. To run away from oneself. To run after something.
Even when it's become pleasant, it's also mind. Yeah? Become pleasant. Even when it becomes pleasant, it's also movement. It's also mind.
If it is known, it's not I, because it's known by me, right?
Yeah.
Actually, this is about being what you are. About just being. Neither doing or not doing. Being this I, which is conscious, which is consciousness, that is unmovable. It's not coming or going, it is permanent. But it is always the same. Always peaceful, quiet, blissful, happy.
Feels like it's like
This is what you need to understand clearly.
it looks like for me, like when it's something is like when I'm putting attention to my eye, it's something coming out. Coming out, and then the moment I recognize it, something clearly, then I drop it, and it's again sort of like inside. Is that correct?
Yes.
My kind of task to bring to I, but I'm bringing to I by recognizing this something. I recognize it and drop it.
It drops.
Sort of like this
You don't drop
process.
it. You don't drop it. It drops.
Yeah, it drops by recognizing that movement, particular movement.
Yes. Good.
Good.
That's it.
Good. I'm happy.
Because you can see the distraction, right?
Yeah.
Ow. Loco. Sé que te cortaron las uñas. And you are that. See, it's about being, you are that which sees, see, what appears and disappears. So this is how you're going to become more and more aware of yourself as you really are, as you actually are, which is not the body, not the mind.
Possible, yeah.
Of course, you are that already. Don't live without.
Mechanics is so
Hmm?
the mechanics, the mechanism of this, or the process is so. Okay, I will not talk anymore. Otherwise, again, I will say something wrong. I'll just get the task. I got the understanding. Okay.
Good.
Thank you. Thank
You're,
you, César.
you're welcome.